Good?
Yep.
Noah?
Looking good.
Appreciate y'all. A little drink. You can edit in some sort of slurping noise. The whole idea behind this video is to just tell you a little bit of my story, to show you what a real, authentic entrepreneur's journey looks like. It's not glamorous. It is not full of a lot of crazy stories. I guess there is some craziness to it. But I want to bring it down to reality for you guys and show you what it actually looks like. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's go into this. So I didn't grow up in the ghetto. I didn't grow up in the projects. I didn't grow up on the streets. I grew up in a nice suburban community called Colleyville, Texas, right in the middle of Fort Worth and Dallas. It's right in suburbia, and it's a nice place to grow up. You know, I had a nice, I had a great family. My mom and dad split up when I was young. And so there was some problems there, but overall I had a lot of nice things growing up. I went to school at the University of Arkansas, where I played football for a year and ended up quitting so that I could live a more normal college life. But I want to bring up something really important right now, and that is that, and I think Lil Dicky, like one of my favorite rappers right now at the moment, captures this perfectly in his song called Professional Rapper.
I was born out of Philly, grew up in a little silly old town called Cheltenham. That's in the suburbs, upper middle wealth around. So real shit, you ain't never had to struggle for much? I wouldn't say it like that, we just had a different kind of trap. Elaborate. Well, I ain't never had a tool, but I had to be the man of school. Like I was doing shit I had to do, so when I finished undergrad, I'm cool. And I could get whatever job I wanted, but the job you wanted wasn't all that bumping. Yeah, and I saw quick all the flaws that be coming when you grow up like that.
Okay, in the song you can see he's talking to Snoop Dogg and he's like, yeah man, like we didn't struggle for much, but we just had a different kind of trap. And that trapping was really simple. That trap was that you're supposed to go to school, you get good grades, you go to college, you graduate college, you get a good job, you get married by the time you're 25, you have 2.5 children, you work really, really hard till you're 65, maybe you get to travel when you're 65 and beyond, and you just work for somebody else for the rest of your life. Now, this was just something that wasn't okay with me. This was something that I realized really early on that I didn't want for my life to end up like. So the problem is that when I graduated college, I just knew what I didn't want to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. All that I really knew was that, man, I really just don't want to work a typical job. I don't want to live a typical life. And during this time, like just to get real with you guys, is like I was completely lost. I was always trying different things. And during this time, I pretty much tried everything you could think of to not only find success for myself, but to avoid working a corporate job. I was a personal trainer for a while. I was a football stunt person in a movie. I was a door guy and a bouncer for a while. I worked as a writer for a website called thebrobible.com. I tell people I just worked in series of odd bro jobs for a long time, just trying to make it, just trying to really make ends meet and start to make some money. Okay, now during this time of working all these series of odd jobs, I did eventually move out of my dad's house. I took the kind of only spot that I could at the time. Then I got kicked out of that house because me and my buddy, we had a disagreement. And so I had to move in with an alcoholic for $500 a month was my total rent at the time. And it was in some piece of shit house where it was dirty and disgusting. And there were hidden wine bottles all over the house. But yeah, it was a weird time in my life. And this really did represent a real low point because it's just hard to explain to your friends and family when you've been given so much, right? When you've lived a life of privilege or not privilege, however you choose to see it, and you're not successful and you're not succeeding in life. There can be a lot of resentment and judgment there because there can be this feeling of, oh, I have everything, and I'm supposed to be successful, and I'm supposed to be this awesome person, but I'm just not and don't feel like it at all. There were times that I definitely gave up on myself, and this low point definitely marked one of those times. And this was I told you guys before, I didn't want a corporate job, I didn't want to work for anybody else, and I got a job at a ceramic and tiling company. At the time, I was the personal trainer for this ceramic and tiling company, and they said, hey, why don't you move to customer service for us? and we will promote you hopefully soon to getting a six-figure career. And before, this was something that I really committed to not doing. I was like, this is not what I want. I want to do something different. I want to be unique. But there I was, left with that decision and just really feeling low about myself. And I just said, okay, this is something I need to do. So my job for a while, for 3 months, was typing in POs. I would wake up every day and go to work through traffic, which I hated, and then type in pick tickets. So they didn't understand how to use technology at the time. And so you'd get faxed in pick tickets, you'd pull them off, and you have to retype them into a computer. And I was terrible at this job. I was just, for some reason, I just think a boring job like that and just typing in numbers all day was just something I couldn't do. Like creatively, it sucked my soul. The easiest way to say it is it truly felt soul-sucking in a way where I was drowning myself in coffee just to get by. And I was drowning myself in coffee to get by, and then I'd go home and I'd just drink because I couldn't get past how terrible I felt about the job. But this marked a really important turning point in my journey. And that turning point was that I finally, when I quit that job after 3 terrible months, I told myself, and I finally understood that I would rather be poor and doing something that I liked than to be rich and doing something I hated. And it just really sparked like a different kind of emotional shift in who I was. And this led into the next kind of discovery was I said, one thing I'd been doing throughout all this time was personal training people. I'd be personal training people on the side, personal training some people, a lot of people, a few people. And I just decided, what if I just kind of gave that my all? What if I sucked up my pride for a little while, didn't become like some badass entrepreneur that I wanted to be, and was just really good at being a personal trainer? Fuck what people think. Like, I know people are gonna judge me, and I'm just gonna be like this grown-up brosif, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be a personal trainer for a while. And I went all in on it. I would spend all my time either reading books, learning new techniques, learning new things online, and really dedicated myself to the craft of personal training. I noticed a really big shift there, and that was that I started to feel pride in what I was doing. I started to feel truly proud of not only the results I was getting, but of how I was running my business. And really quickly, I also noticed something really important around me, is that achieving success and doing something great is really not a mystery. There was nothing special or some secret to it. It was just I was out working everybody. At some point, I was just putting more hours, more time, and had more dedication to it. And I started to pass up my colleagues one after one after one, to eventually, like where I was working at the time at Trophy Club Fitness, I was the highest paid personal trainer in the place after just 2 years. And surprisingly, I was able to make over 6 figures as a personal trainer. And that just had a lot to do with just the work ethic that I was putting towards something. But then I found myself in another trap. And many people, if you're making it this far into the story, are going to know the term the golden handcuffs. The golden handcuffs are a corporate term for whenever you are being paid so much at a company that you just really can't leave that company, right? What you'll do is you'll get to 25, to age 30, and you'll start working for this company. They'll be paying you pretty well. You'll have a mortgage, you'll have a car, maybe you'll have a husband, a wife, kids, maybe not all those things at the same time, but you'll have some of them, and you will find yourself stuck because you cannot quit that job. If you quit that job, all of those things are relying on you. And I found myself in a similar scenario where I called them the iron handcuffs. And what they were was I was personal training people and making a ton of money, but I was spending all of my time and all of my life training people who didn't want to work out. I would be waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning and finishing work at 8, 9 p.m. at night, unable to go and party with my friends, unable to go hang out because I had early morning clients, Monday through Saturday. Okay, so at this time, I decided that I would try my hand in entrepreneurship again. And I have an idea. And it is an unoriginal idea. It isn't anything special. I didn't invent the next Uber. I didn't make an air fryer. I started a blog. A blog after I had started multiple websites. I'd probably started 7 websites up to this point, that had all been unsuccessful, but I was willing to try it again. One of the differences at this time was that I actually had a business partner join me along for the ride. There's a lot to be said about our culture's ideal entrepreneur seems to be like this lone wolf, right, who stands on top of this tower all by himself and creating this thing all by himself. But you know, what I found in my journey at least was that working with somebody else doesn't make you 2 times as effective, it makes you 5 times as effective. And my business partner had a lot to do with the success I had, as well as providing an awesome source of accountability towards the goals I was setting and towards the things I was trying to achieve. So we started a health and fitness website, and it was called healthandhappyhour.com. It was a website designed around being a young professional in Uptown Dallas, where we like to work out and we like to drink. Health and happy hour. It completely failed. It did not do well at all, and that reason was very simple and was kind of the final lesson that I had to learn before I had success. And that was I was all focused on me. I was all focused on what I wanted and what I wanted to see in the world, and I wasn't focused on what other people wanted. So I then started a website called Avocadu.com. And Avocadu was going to end up, and I didn't know it at the time, but registered the domain name September 25th of 2015. And I didn't know it'd change my life, but it certainly did. What happened was, at the time, started this website, and it actually started to get traffic. And the reason why I got traffic was because instead of talking about shit that I wanted to talk about, we were talking about the things other people wanted to see, other people wanted to hear about. And they started to show up in the website. And they started to show up in droves. There went from 10,000 people visiting the website to 50,000 to 100,000 to 200,000. And before we knew it, we actually had a website that could be successful. But we had another problem. And that problem was that we were working our regular jobs just trying to do this as a side hustle. We were working the majority of our time, trading our hours for dollars, hoping that this website would succeed. Well, now what happened was everything I had learned from dedicating myself to my craft of being a personal trainer came full circle. It came to end up helping me out more than I knew, because it taught me, like, if I'm really going to succeed at this website, if we're really going to make this happen, we're going to have to dedicate all of our time and all of our effort and all of our energy into making it successful. So we're on this hike in Seattle, and we had this crazy idea. And that idea was simple, is that what if we quit our jobs, sold everything we owned, and moved into my dad's house and started to try to make this website truly successful. At the time, the website, keep in mind, wasn't making any money, and we both had full-time, good-paying jobs, but we just decided that we wanted to stop trading our hours for dollars and try to achieve a life where we could travel and do the things that we actually wanted. So that's what we did. I remember, like, one of the things that we did that seems to stand out to most people is that we ate eggs and rice every single day, because I knew as a personal trainer that eggs had protein and fat, and rice had your carbohydrates, and I think it cost $3 a meal to eat, and we would make that 2 times a day. In the morning, I would have salsa, intermittent fast, then I'd have salsa with it in the afternoon, and then put sriracha on it at night, and that was the variability in my diet at the time. But it was because we wanted to spend every dollar we had investing back into our business. There's something to be said about when you commit fully to something. Whenever you truly go, this is going to be my shit, we are going to make this happen. And when we quit our jobs, we had pretty much burned a lot of the bridges behind us. We would still be able to go back to those jobs, but we were really committed to making this thing happen. So we would wake up and work all day, every day, trying to make these websites succeed. And so that first month that we had quit fully and gone all in, January of 2016, we made our first $200 from our website. And while that might not seem like much to you guys, it represented a lot at the time, because it just felt real. It felt like, oh my gosh, like if we can make 200, we can make more. And it was just a very monumental shift for us, because it was just like, wow, like this is truly possible. So we kept getting after it. And so the next month after that, we made 400. And when we were dedicating all of our time and all of our energy and all of our effort into this, we started doubling our revenues month after month after month. So it was 200, then the next month was 400, Next month was 800. Month after that, 16, 3,200, then 8,000, then 9,000, then 8,000, and then 40,000. And the $40,000 month, guys, you know, it's hard to express how life-changing that was. I remember this particular day where we made $5,000 in a single day. And it was a day that we were not working. We were actually out at brunch with some friends at the time. So we were sitting there getting drunk and checking our email. And every time we opened up our phone and scrolled down, and you'd see, like, you know, the little spinny bar, and it would pop up with new sales and new sales and new sales and new sales. Suddenly, we had completely broken free of trading our hours for dollars. We were making money in our sleep, and we were making money when we were out drinking and doing the things that we wanted to do. And I didn't know it at the time, but this was going to be the first of a few different successes in the online space for me. Okay, so this time we had a successful health and wellness website, and I was looking around at all the advice on the internet teaching other people how to blog, and realized that nobody really knew what they were talking about. There were all these bloggers teaching other people only blogging about blogging, but they really didn't have any experience in starting a completely separate site from scratch. And Lauren and I had had so much success in the health and fitness industry at the time that we started to decide that we wanted to make a blog teaching other people how to make money. This was because we saw that there was a great financial opportunity in it. But we just truly did feel, though, that we could teach this better than most people had ever taught it before. And so then the second blog, createandgo.com, was started. And that blog rose to success very, very quickly. It didn't take long before we were earning 30 grand per month, 50 grand per month, 70 grand per month, even up to 100 grand per month on that website. We were living a life that most people really, truly just dream of. We were able to, again, to travel the world, do the things that we wanted to do, and we're making, 100 grand per month. We were making more money than most people, working regular jobs and getting to travel. And it was just an incredible and crazy time in my life. And then so again, because I'd been in the internet space for a while and started learning all these things, started another website called Create a Pro Website. That website is dedicated towards web development and teaching people how to start their own website from scratch, and have now turned that website into a website that's valued at over $1 million as well. Fast forwarding a little bit through the success of all this, because while I could go into the individual process that each one of them had to have success and the things that were involved in those, I think it's more important that in this story you just get kind of an overall picture. And the picture that I really want to paint for you is that there's nothing special about me. There's nothing amazingly unique about myself that you yourself don't have. But I do want to end this thing with this video, this presentation, whatever this is, with just 4 simple steps, or 4 keys that kind of, looking back at everything and looking at the success that I've had, that I think can help you. The first one is that success takes time. A lot of people look at success and see it as sort of an overnight thing. They see that, somebody wasn't successful, and then they see them featured in some article or something like that, and then they're like, oh, look, they're successful now, or they get this job and now they're suddenly a success. Success takes a ton of time. If I didn't have those experiences back when I was completely lost, of knowing all the things I didn't want to do with my life, if I didn't have that experience working customer service, I didn't have that experience writing for thebrobible.com, I wouldn't have been as good of a writer as I was whenever I was writing for Avocadu. These were just things that, looking back at it, they all make sense. But at the time, they didn't make sense to me. I was completely lost and confused. Which brings me to my second point, and that is that the goal in life is not to know exactly where you want to go or know exactly what you want to achieve. Oftentimes, the goal can be just trying to level up at what you do. So I started out working as a personal trainer for $10 an hour, and I was able to get people great results. And because I was able to get them great results, I was able to charge more, charge $35 an hour, got them great results, charged more, got $70 an hour. Learned marketing, learned how to Facebook market myself, was able to charge $100 an hour. right? And then, even then, I took personal training and leveled up to Avocadu, right? Avocadu had success teaching people how to get in shape and how to lose weight because of my success as a personal trainer. Create and Go was leveled up from Avocadu because we took the success we had from Avocadu, leveled it up again. Then I took the success from Create and Go and made another business. And then even today, I'm taking all of the things I do into leveling up and making a personal brand and into making a media company. You don't have to know where you're going, right? You don't have to know what the end game looks like. You just need to keep leveling up and moving forward on your life. That will take you where you want to go. All right, number 3, never settle for less than what you're worth. So there's never a time in your life where you should look at something and be like, well, this is just all right. This is just what I have to do. No, like life is full of opportunity and there's an amazing amount of abundance to be had and you can do a lot of cool shit in the world and you don't have to be super talented to do it either. So just don't settle and don't give up on yourself. Number 4, and the final one, is to make a goal that inspires you. So kind of part of life, and it doesn't have to be something crazy distant in the future. Sometimes it can be just something right in front of you. Like your goal can be, remember as a personal trainer, my goal was to just be the best personal trainer in my gym. That was a great goal for me at the time because it was something right in front of my face and something that I was in control of. You just need to set goals that are true to yourself and that truly inspire you. The one for me today is a little bit different, is that I've created all these internet businesses and now I want to create a media company. I see a warehouse. I see happy people running around this warehouse. I see people on skateboards and goofing around and listening to rap music and having a good time. I see $1 billion business. I see $1 billion company where we can change lives and have a great time doing it. That's what inspires me now. Back when I was a personal trainer, back when I was fresh out of college in my dad's house, that goal wouldn't have made any sense. But it's something that works for me today. So you need to set goals and set things that truly inspire you and truly kind of move those heartstrings that you have. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you found this inspirational or interesting at least, or it helps you along in your journey. Where it isn't something where I just have something special that you don't have, right? It was just a guy that got to work and worked really, really hard over a long period of time. That's it. There's no miracle there. There's no magic. There's no secret to success. There's no curtain that somebody's hiding something from you. I really do hope that it helps you. I'm having fun building this YouTube channel, building out a personal brand, with bigger dreams of building this media company and doing something fun with my life. So I hope you guys enjoy hanging out. I guess like and subscribe if you're on this video. Roast me in the comments section. I'm always down for that as well. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.